Hi, this is Sweet Sassy Diva and from sweetsassydiva.com, and here's the Cricut Expression Anniversary Edition Just a Note cartridge that's preloaded onto the E2. They show you directions on how to make this card. And here's some of the cute cards. It has a trifold card, and then it's got the different layers, or you could just do the different images. A lot of kites. I think I'm going to cut this love card out first with the card. And then there's the overlays. Here's the Cricut Expression 2 Anniversary Edition, straight out of the box. The stylus is kept in the cover. You can use a stylus or you can use your finger. This will take you to the cartridges that are preloaded. You can always hit the home button if you get lost. So what you do is to change cartridges, click on here, and then there's a drop down menu, and right now it's showing alphabet, and looking for Just a Note. Then I'm going to cut out a card. And we're going to do the little love one. And that's on page 41. And then it shows you on the keyboard the little red dot as to where it'll be, approximately where it's located. So that would be that one. And then what we're going to do is edit it. And then you click on here to edit it, and we want it at 5.5. And we want to keep it on here so that the layers will be appropriately matched. And then click there. And then if you hit the home button, it goes and shows you at the mat. Okay, so now it's at 5.5, and that'll cut the card base out. And I'm going to see if we can get all the layers in. So we'll hit the home key. So we want to add some more to the mat, so we'll hit this key here. And then we already have the card base. Okay, so now we want to do his different layers. So now we'll just run through and do his different layers. And then we need layer 1. And we need to do the shift and get his little tail. And layer 2. And then we need his phrase. And there's another phrase layer as well. So in order to cut the card, it shows a number of layers. And then if you go here, it'll show you that's page 1. And then for page 2, there he is as well. Although I don't think that that one's particular is for the layer. So I had to modify some of the sizes. This is 5.5, and this is the 5.5 layer for love. But these two, the detail on the cards, I guess, aren't as detailed, and I wanted more detail. So I cut the tail at 4.5, and this is some of the coloring for the cheeks at 4.5. Normally you'd be able to do the layers at 5.5 and it would all work. But for some reason, I guess they don't want the detail in it, because it just wasn't working. This is 5.5. That's meant for the card layer. And then these two, again, I cut at 4.5. And then also to get this spacing, click on the star button, it'll take you and show you that for the spacing I added these brackets in. And if you go to the beginning, I also entered in this little return cartridge so that it gave more spacing between. If you don't have that, it ended up in the front page that these two were butt up close to each other, so that gave some more spacing. And then it shows you for this whole project it takes up 2 spaces. But this gives some space. If you put in this little bracket here, it gives some space so that you can figure out what you want to cut. And again, if you want to see, anytime you want to check for spacing, you just click on it in this little icon, and then here it'll tell you what size. You can go up and down. And this you want to have on when you're doing the multiple layers, so that it'll do the layer according to what it needs to be at 5.5. It's not the true size. This, all the pieces then would be 5.5, and you don't want that because you want to layer them. So when you're layering, make sure you use this button. So here's the project, and then what I'm going to do is I placed what colors I wanted to do for it. So there's I did 4 different areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, with different colors of what I wanted to cut. So here it's laid out, and here's the big piece and then the other pieces. So I'll load it now and cut this. Now the nice thing is it has little grooves that you can put your mat into. See that there? It's on both sides. So you just put it in there underneath. And then you'll go to your screen, and we want to load the mat. And then, similar to like the gypsy, you want to hit cut, and then here you can change your settings to light paper or what have you. And I'm going to do heavy paper because I have some thicker paper in there. And then it'll tell you your settings, your speed and such. And then I want to cut it. Light so that you can see where it's cutting. It just, if you want to cut in the dark, I don't know, I haven't really found a reason that I would particularly need the light. I guess if you're crafting in the middle of the night and don't want to turn your lights on, I guess you can see where it's cutting. And it seems a lot quieter than the original Expression. Okay, now I have page 2 loaded, and then again it'll go underneath the grooves on both sides. And then you want to load the mat. And hit cut. Turns back to the mat. Then you want to click on load mat, and then you can go and cut more if you wanted to. There's page 2 and page 1. Now I'll assemble the card. Here's the card all assembled. Love. You fold out to a little squirrel. And then you could put your words in here. I think maybe a small mat might be cute. There he is.